I'm Fabio Wardley and welcome to my gym.
Fabio Wardley is a genuine heavyweight title contender, and in this episode he details in depth how to train like one. From white collar to world level bouts, how far can he go? This is Welcome to My Gym.
Lovely, good, same pace, nice and relaxed. Just moving around it.
What does it feel like to knock someone out?
Overwhelming in a sense of elation, excitement, you're buzzing, you're happy, you're proud of yourself, and all of them, they're all very raw and visceral emotions, and they all just come out. You see with me or so many fighters who just have this outpour of scream or emotion or yell or shout or whatever they do just to let it all out. Vindication for all the hard work that you've put into a camp and everything you've put into it, and that all culminates into that one moment, and you've won, and you've done it, and you've ticked it off in great fashion, and you can really just let loose and be proud of yourself, I guess.
With Fab, if you try and dig against Fab, you're going to find you ain't got a big enough shovel. I don't like it, but with Fab, if you want to stand there and trade out of him, he's going to want to do that. We don't like that as coaches, that's silly. If Justis tries to do that, it's not going to be good for him. Let's go, come on.
Come on, boss.
Let's go. 2, 3. Good. Good. 1, 2. 1, 2, sit 2. Good, lovely. 1. Good. Good. 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. Good. 1. 6, 3, 2. Best man at my wedding a couple of weeks ago. He done me very good on my speech. I thought he was going to kill me. Yeah, he done me proud. 3, 2. You're going to roll because I'm going to hit you. Lovely, good. On that roll, it doesn't matter if you step out any time. Either way, because instead of you stepping in with that jab and getting caught, if you're stepping out, you're rolling out. Either way, yeah?
Favourite part of camp is probably the end. Worst part of camp is always the beginning. Because you're not up to scratch, you're not in prime condition, and the last time you remember yourself doing all this stuff, you was in prime condition, everything was sharp and moving and firing on all cylinders, so that first proper session back in the gym is always not a very nice one.
Okay, 1. 1 block 3. Yeah. I met Fabio a long time ago for a project called Positive Futures. So Positive Futures, am I allowed to say? Positive Futures is for troubled kids. He was a natural from the start. Athletic ability, natural, keen student, boxing IQ. Yeah, he had it all. Lovely, again.
Don't get me wrong, Justis Huni is a very good competitor, a very good operator, but he's not an Andy Ruiz in that sense. And this is the other major factor to this is my fight, my hometown, my place. So yeah, there's no way I'm getting beat in my hometown.
Keep jabbing.
I don't know if it'll be too much of a celebration, to be honest, because my missus is heavily pregnant and she will be, especially by the fight night as well. So it will be just probably getting home and trying to savour as much sleep as I can before little one's here.
Again. Sit. Good, lovely. 1. 1, 2. 2. 1, 2.
It's going to be new for him. It's going to be something different. I don't think he definitely wouldn't have walked into an atmosphere like that before. He's been on some big stage fights and things in the past, but it's going to be different walking into an atmosphere that's that hostile. Definitely, it'll be something new for him. And I'm one that I do love and enjoy the crowd and everything getting up behind it. So it gives you an extra kick in the back as well, an extra gear as well to push through when training and everything else. You got that little bit to get your teeth into as well, that bit extra for this. So it being in your hometown it makes it something special.
Lovely. Walk around.
It's Monday, it's training day for me, it's my strength day, so we're lifting some weights. We're at the back end of camp now, so we're in the kind of strength speed phase, as we'd call it. We've been building up all through camp, lifting a bit heavier, putting a lot more load on it, whereas this session or these next couple of sessions over the next few weeks will be more based around speed, that power output, and transferring the weight, the strength that we've built over the last kind of few weeks and turning them into speed and power as well. So today there's a number of what I'd call bouncy or jumpy movements where we're looking at transferring weight in a short, sharp moment. So I've got things like trap bar jumps where I've got a load of weight that I'm carrying and I'm jumping with those and having to transfer that weight very quickly. Med ball jumps as well, some bar assisted jumps. So a lot of things where I'm transferring weight from my feet very sharply and just learning how to build up that kinetic chain of power. It's all built here in this gym. It's done me well throughout my last few fights, and we're staying on top of it, building it over and over, and obviously getting stronger. First block is the extended warm-up, and there's only 3 exercises in it for each. Obviously going straight into lifting heavy or something like that isn't ideal with cold muscles, risk of injury. Those stretches that we're doing now, transferring them into actual movements of themselves. So 3 of each, usually about 6 or 7, 8 reps between them. Go through that a few times over, and then start moving into the actual block of strength work. So I'm now moving on to med ball ice skaters. For this one, again, very similar to the pogo jumps, but just transferring that lateral weight, so side to side. Again, springy, bouncing off, so it can transfer onto fight night of using that power, that short, quick transfer of weight and energy. All right, so these ones are called med ball punch isos, so iso for isolated. Using med ball, something you can get your hand around basically. Generate full amount of force. So again, all of these in the extended warm-up are based around minimizing risk of injury. So you can get full output of power because you're just pressing into something that's not going to move like the wall. And this is to replicate a punch, get your force, punch output out. But no, I'm not fatiguing or getting tired or overshooting it. I'm just going full power into a wall and just again switching on those movements, those muscle parts that would correlate into throwing a right hand or jab or whichever kind of punch. Finished the warm-up, sorry. Moved on to the real kind of strength phase, or what you'd call the superset section. This is gonna be a trap bar jump, so adding some weight to the trap bar. Not a huge amount, but a bit for me to jump with. So add some force, add some resistance for me to jump against, and then controlling that on the way down as well. Again, just these next few weeks, or this whole section of training is based around just force output, power output. So all the strength that we've built over the last few weeks is now transferring that into real usable power and energy. So next exercise in this little block is a split stance med ball rotational throw. There's a bit of a mouthful. So to imitate how you'd be in a fight stance with the split stance, and then rotational throw, so working on that rotational power, again transferring weight into something like it would be a hook. So for that one was more a straight movement, straight up and down, whereas this is focused on a bit more lateral, turning, twisting, throwing hook. So that one's probably more resembles straight punches, whereas this is more related to hooks. So this section, this block, banded resistance 1-2 punch. Again, focusing on transferring weight in a punch, but adding resistance to it for something for the muscles to work against. Replicating, not perfectly, but relatively close to how a punch would be thrown in a sense. We've gone through different punches through these different exercises. So this is again back to the straight punches, but with band, which is different to a weight because it increases tension all the way through the shot, whereas with a weight, you're only lifting 20, 30 kg, wherever you're lifting, whereas with a band, the further you get down the length of resistance, the harder it will get. Just stand on it normally, don't worry about it.
Definitely not that now.
It's only 21. Next section of the force output. The first one will be an iso floor press. So again, isolated, meaning I can push to 100%, I can push to my max effort, but low risk of injury, and different to pushing like a dumbbell or something like that, which I'd have to control the weight, which then has an activation element to it as well. And then we'll move on to a med ball chest throw with some band as well to add a bit more resistance to that. And then some core mixed with shoulder, which is just a med ball figure of 8. So just in a plank stance with a med ball, just rolling it around.
So on to the final section of my training for this session at least. This last exercise, or one of the last 3, a row and rotate. So these bits are more accessory bits, working on isolated muscle groups, just some bits we've identified through camp that need a bit of extra work or need to keep up all the way through the duration. Moving slightly away from kind of force output, transferring that weight, and just kind of back to more basic kind of muscle work. Next one after that will be a tricep iso. So not actually doing reps with it, but just holding it in an isolated position. Again, just maximising that force, but just controlling the weight at the same time. Minimising, again, injury at the back end of camp, just keeping that injury risk really low. This one's more based around core, just a core hold, core stability. Obviously that transfers into everything in boxing and training, so just a little finisher off for that as well.